Adobe Illustrator, Project 5, Letterfold Brochure, and we are picking up on page 244, using artboards to create the panel layout structure. Make sure you have downloaded the Science zip file and expanded that into your Works in Progress folder. In Illustrator, you are going to create a new file. Choose Print, and I'm selecting the print with inches because that will set that parameter up for me. I am going to change my parameters. I'm going to retitle this as Rack 4x9. It is in inches. The orientation is to be portrait. The width is 4 inches. The height is to be 9 inches. Number of artboards is to be 6. In the More Settings options, we will make the arrangement to be the grid by row. The spacing should be changed to 0. We want nothing between them. We want them bumping right up against each other. Number of columns should be 3. And there should be no bleed, and you may create the document. You will then open the Artboard panel. Each artboard is listed numbered according to the position in the file, left to right, and then the second row left to right. Save the file in your WIP Science folder. Choose the Artboard tool from the Tool panel. With Artboard 1 active, in your Artboards panel, rename the artboard Outside Fold In and hit Enter to accept the change. In the Control panel, select the right center reference point. Make sure the height and width fields are open, and click after the existing width value and type in a -0.125. We need this panel to be 1/8 inch shorter than the others. It needs to be narrower so that it can accommodate the fold that makes the difference because of the thickness of the paper. By typing this in, the math will be done for you. Select Enter to make the change. Click inside the bounds of Artboard 2 to select that panel. This time you can use the Control panel to change the name of Artboard 2 to Outside Center. Select Artboard 3 and rename it Outside Right Front. Using either of the methods, select Artboard 4 and rename it Inside Left. Artboard 5 becomes Inside Center, and Artboard 6, which I accidentally moved, so I'm going to Control Z to put it back in place and reselect it, and I will change the name to Inside Fold In. With the Inside Fold In artboard active, select one of the left reference points and subtract 1/8 of an inch from the current width. Shift-click to select the other two artboards, and then you can drag them to the right or use your arrow keys to move the artboards over until the outside lines align. If you choose to move this using the Artboard tool, your smart guides should tell you when you are lined up. Zoom out so that you can see everything. And using the artboard tool, you're going to click and drag a new artboard that overlaps all of the outside panel artboards. So I'm going to temporarily use my hand tool to move and then switch back to my artboard tool and drag to create an artboard that encompasses all three of those artboards. You may have to adjust it after you've created it, or you may accidentally pick up the first artboard. Name that artboard outside. Do the same thing for the inside artboards. Create a new artboard to cover all three of those. Again, you may need to make an adjustment to it to get it to fit correctly. And name that artboard inside. Then drag the outside and inside artboards to the top of the layer stack. Save your file. If your rulers are not visible, go to View and Show Your Rulers. Right-click the ruler at the top, and if Change to Artboard Rulers at the bottom of that pop-up is not grayed out, click on it to choose that option. If it's grayed out, then that option is already available for you. Using Artboard Rulers, the 0 point will automatically default to the upper left corner of the active artboard. Choose the Rectangle tool and click the default Fill and Stroke in the tool panel. Go to the outside artboard and zoom out a little bit so that you can see the entire thing, and you're going to create a rectangle that exactly matches the size of the outside artboard. Your smart guides should help you snap to those artboards. You should see 11.875 for the width and 9 inches for the height, and using the Transform panel or the Control panel, choose the center reference point on your proxy. Make sure that the link is broken between the height and width. You should have a bar going across the chain. After the existing width, type in plus 0.25 and do the same to the height field. With the resized rectangle selected, go to View, Guides, Make Guides, and repeat this to create guides for the inside artboard. Again, with the Rectangle tool, create a rectangle that aligns with the edge of the outside fold-in artboard. And you can use your artboard panel to maneuver. In your Transform panel, you can make sure that your height and width are correct, and this time you're going to subtract a 1/2 inch. From both fields, to create your margins. Then convert this also to a guide and repeat that for all the remaining panels. I can't have you doing this. Go to View, Guides, and make sure your guides are locked.